Good day and welcome back to my channel. It's been like some few days back that we last had our last conversation, right? I want to first of all thank everyone that commented, those that shared their likes. I want to say you are the reason why I am being motivated to do this on a day-to-day basis. Even if it is just one person that I'm able to reach, I want to say thank you. And I also want to say, for those that are yet to comment, please comment, please like, tell a friend to tell a friend, subscribe, and it will help this channel going forward. Okay, I'm here once again to throw more light on things that we all need to be aware of, so that it will help make each and every one of us a well-conscious and a better human being in general. So here we go. Do you know that in Nigeria today, the population of the rich to the poor, when you say the ratio, is more like 5%? And do you know that each year that comes by, may say on the 31st of every year, December to be precise, you see a lot of people coming up with resolutions. Oh, I want to do this the next year, I want to be this the next coming year. And the shocking part is that just before the first quarter of that new year, the majority of people that made such resolution, you find them deviating completely out of such resolution that they made. The question is, why do you think such do happen? Point is that majority of them did not give it a proper thought. Maybe because they saw that it's just the normal norm that a lot of people do, or the pressure of peers. They just feel, let me just make such resolution, and at the end of the day, they end up just going through life on a daily basis, not actualizing what they want to become. But I'm here to tell you today, all hope is not lost. Reason being is that stick around to the end of this video, and I'm here to show you some of the things that you can do to ensure that that aspiration, that goal that you've been wanting to achieve in your life in the next couple of years, you start seeing it as a reality if you follow these simple guidelines that I'm going to give. Welcome back to my channel, Corporate Blue Room, and the topic for today is guidelines on how to create a 5-year plan. Now, what is a 5-year plan? I know some of you must have heard about this, but the question is, have you really given it in-depth thought about what I'm about to say? A 5-year plan is just simply a personal or professional list of goals. When I say goals, in this 5-year plan, it must have small, concrete list of goals, which is like on a day-to-day basis, that would help you achieve the overall goal within that 5 years. I give you an example. Say, for example, now you want to buy a landed property, but you don't have the actual fund at the current that you want to achieve within a period of 5 years. That is just the simple definition of a 5-year plan. Now, with this 5-year plan, you will see that you will be able to achieve or actualize those aspirations that you had in you. Now, a moment to actualize or to purchase that landed property. What do? You start making preparation towards it. You give yourself a time bound. This time bound is what we are saying is like a 5-year plan, for example. It necessarily doesn't have to be a 5 years. It can be 2 years, it can be 3 years. But the point is, you have to set a time bound, as in give yourself a target. Now, what is the first thing a reasonable person would do, knowing for the fact that you don't have the fund at the current moment to purchase that land? The first thing you want to do is ask yourself, so when I have this fund, which area would I want to purchase a landed property? You first of all know the area that you are looking at. That's one. Then two, you will do some analysis to ensure that you want to know what is the current price as of now of what the going rate of landed properties within that area that you are aspiring to get. Then, when you do that, you will now also do a projection, because remember, you don't have the cash as at the moment. You want to do it within a certain period of time. So you will now do a projection, which is involving inflation and everything, what the price will be as at that particular time that you might have the fund. So you do an analysis, and once you have that, you now finally do the third step, which is start saving towards this property, which is the third part. That is, on a month-to-month basis, saving a certain amount to ensure that you actualize it, either as salary, saving a certain chunk of your salary, or saving a certain chunk from your business to actualize their goals. So this is just an example. But before we start diving into list of guidelines that you should have to actualize this, the question is, what are the benefits of having a 5 years plan for yourself? I can categorically tell you that somebody that has a 5 years plan and sticks to it is far 10 times better than somebody that just set a resolution and does not a pathway to it. I'll also give you an example. If you want to travel from here to, say, New York, remember that the pilot does not see the way. His own is just to control the plane, but he will need to take direction from the control tower in the airport that will guide him to his destination. This is what we are saying. That is the guideline. And the benefit of such 5 years plan is that, one, it creates a starting point. It creates a starting point for either your career or startup idea or personal goals. It will create a starting point. You will know where you want to start from. It gives you that idea. Because when you are setting a 5 years plan, you now say, today I want to do this. So it will give you that in a starting point. Number two, it helps you stay focused and aligned with your ambition rather than your dreams. There's a difference between an ambition and dreams. So when you say you want to focus on a 5 year plan, the benefit is that it will help you stay focused. Number three, it consistently reminds you of what you are aiming towards and what you need to get to that particular destination. So you can see that these three things are very beneficial when you have a 5 years plan. These are three key benefits. One, it helps you know your starting point. Two, it helps you focus and align your ambition with your dreams. Then three, it consistently reminds you, because you will be consciously reminded of what you are aiming towards and what you need to get to that place. And finally, what are the guidelines that you are expected to follow? What are the guidelines of creating this 5 years plan? Because you don't want to be that individual that punching in 5 to 9 on a day-to-day basis, and at the end of every year you have nothing to show for. So how do you create a 5 years plan? Number one, focus on your plan. Very important. In this aspect, focus on which area of your life you want to achieve something in the next 5 years. Focus on this area. What I mean is that focus on the area of your life that you want to achieve something. Is very, very important. Don't be too ambiguous. Just focus. If you say, oh, I want to be a doctor, fine. For example, if you say, oh, you have already graduated, I want to be a manager in the next 5 years, fine. But focus on your plan. If you say this is what you want to do, and be at the top of that, let that thing be at the top of your list. You remember that thing they taught us in school now, a scale of preference. Your particular need or your want should be at the top of it. So focus on your plan is very, very crucial. When you do this, you will know what you are aiming at. Then 2, consider your potential goals. What do I mean by this? When you are focused, okay, what I want to be a doctor, I want to be the next CEO, or I want to be ex-HR manager in the next 5 years, then consider your potential goals. What do we mean is that on that list of paper or on that list of diary that you have wasting your focus, on the left hand side, you've written your goals. Then on the right hand side, write the actions. What are the actions that you need to take? The actions that you need to take to get to this destination. Remember, I said when defining 5 years plan, I told you it was a personal or professional list of goals that you want to achieve within that 5 years plan. And I also said it is a small or concrete goals that you consistently do to help achieve the overall goal of the 5 years plan. Then, when you do this, you must ensure that this your goal is meeting the SMART theory. And I know somebody might be saying, what is SMART? For those of you that are educated, you know the SMART theory. But for those of you that are maybe into business that do not understand what the SMART theory is, the SMART theory is simply ensuring that whatever goal you are setting for yourself, SMART, which is SMART, the S stands for what? Be specific. Be specific of what you want to do. The M, let it be measurable. You can measure it either on a weekly, on a daily, monthly, yearly. Then the A stands for achievable. Is it what you want to do within that 5 years plan? Is it achievable? Can you achieve it? Is it something that you can do? Is it something that is realistic? Is it something that at the end of the day is possible for you to achieve? Is it something that if you set your mind to it is doable, not the one that at the end of the day you will be able to achieve it? Is it realistic? This is one thing that you need to do. Then the T stands for time bound. Well, the time bound is the period of 5 years. The time bound. So these 5 years, you can measure it on a month to month or year to year, but it will end within that 5 years. So if you meet these 5 aspects, which is if your goals, your 5 years plan meets these 5 aspects, which is it specific? Is it measurable? Is it achievable? Is it realistic? And is it time bound? Yes, then you are on the right course. Number 3, ensure that you determine why you are doing it. You need to know why you are doing it. That is why you do what you want to become. You know what you want to become. A manager that says, I want to be a CEO. Or write the reason down. Determine the why. Try as much as possible. Write it in a piece of paper and hang it somewhere in your, either in your house or also hang it in your office or your place of business, so that you will have the constant reminder. You remember they say, out of sight is out of mind. But each time you say it will give you a constant reminder that you can easily focus on. It will remind you of the reason why you are doing what you are doing. So determine the why. This will help you know what you are doing. It's very, very important. And number 4, create your goals and also try as much as possible to ensure that it is on a monthly basis. Establish annual goals. When you establish these goals, remember, I said try as much as possible as you are establishing these goals. Make sure you measure them on a month-to-month basis, because you want to see where you are each time you are moving forward with this your 5 years plan. It will help you understand where you are going, to know whether you are actually on the right track or not. So try as much as possible when you are creating a 5 years plan. One of the guidelines is create monthly or yearly goals, which is very, very important. Then number 5, do research of what you want to become. When I say do research of what you want to become, if you say you want to be a manager, for example, you are already an officer, but the aspiration is you want to be a manager in the next 5 years, find out what it takes to be a manager. If you say you want to be a doctor and you're already a resident, find out what it takes to become that particular doctor you're aspiring to. If you say you want to be a CEO, you need to find out what it takes. You must do that research, and it involves a lot of reading. It also involves asking questions, constructive questions from people that are already at that position, so that you have an idea of what you want to become in the next 5 years. And finally, last but not the least, adjust and revisit your plan as needed. Please don't say because you have created your plan from day one, it must be that way. No, it's not true. Life has its ups and downs. Once you see that you are deviating or an unforeseen circumstances happen, take for example the phenomenon that happened in the year 2020, the COVID-19. For people that had their 5 years plan, you see that they will need to revisit it and come up with a realistic one again. So try as much as possible to adjust and revisit your plan so that you do not deceive yourself. If you can do these 6 things on a day-to-day basis and you stick to it, I can assure you, you would end up achieving even more than what you have set to become in the next 5 years. I want to thank you for listening. Please subscribe to my channel. Give it a thumbs up by liking it. Please drop your comment. Without your support, I won't be here passing this information on a regular basis. So please, I thank you for your support. And until I see you in the next video, I want to say remain blessed, and you know the next slogan. Bye-bye.